Jeremy Clarkson, 62, has a general sense that everything will be alright in the end, but when it comes to the food shortage crisis, he feels very differently. On Sunday, the Grand Tour host described how the current food shortage crisis may leave people desperately hungry. Despite his optimism regarding many things, including the climate crisis, he can't shake his fears concerning the increasing costs and lack of food supplies. He wrote in his latest column, addressing the UK's cost of living crisis. It now costs £1 million to heat your house and £20,000 to cook a lamb chop. I know it, too, because chemical fertilizer has gone from about £250 a tonne last year to about £1,000 a tonne now. With the cost of fertilizer increasing, the car enthusiast warned farmers will resort to using less fertilizer, which, in turn, will lead to a shortage in crops. Clarkson's farm star Jeremy continued, warning that humans can survive without some things, but food is not one of them. He said, politicians say they are monitoring the situation, which means they aren't doing anything at all, but one day they will have to, because while people can live without heat or clothing or even sex, they cannot live without food. Hunger makes people eat their neighbors, he wrote, for his The Sunday Times column. There is a direct link between the war in Ukraine and food shortages, since produce cannot be exported due to a lack of means to transport it via the sea. Access to the sea has been blocked due to the war. Jeremy explained, this Ukraine business, however, is causing me to have a few chin-scratching moments of despair. I don't pretend to be an expert in geopolitics any more than I pretend to be a farmer, but I really think the world has slipped into a pair of margarine trousers and is now hurtling down a well-watered slide into the pit of hunger, misery and death. Meanwhile, Jeremy has other problems relating to his diddly-squat farm. The star shared his infuriating feelings with Talk TV when his planning permission applications were rejected by the local authority. Speaking to Tom Newton-Dunn on the news desk, Jeremy said, "I've no idea, I must have offended the planners in some way in a column I wrote probably 20 years ago and I can't get planning permission. Maybe I should buy an apron and join the Masons. I don't know what you have to do. But I simply can't get planning permission for anything." Which is infuriating, but it's not just me, as it turns out. Farmers up and down the country are saying the same thing, he continued. I'm sure you know the basic farm payment scheme has been reduced dramatically. Right? It's gone down from £80,000 to £60,000, it goes down to £40,000 next year, and it will eventually go to nothing at all. And the government has told farmers to diversify, to think of other ways of making money and not just to rely on taxpayer assistance. Jeremy added, so I thought, okay, fine. I'll open a shop. I'll open a restaurant and sell my produce there. But the local authority just says, no, you can't do that. So I've been told to diversify on the one hand, and then told I can't diversify by local planners,